Hi, my name is Melanie. Today is Thursday, January 21st, 2016. This is discussion recording number 2. I chose to do questions from chapter 6 and chapter 9. The first question from, I believe it was chapter 6 first. Yeah. It had to do with the history of ETA terrorism. It first asked me how much of the information presented were you aware of prior to watching the video. I honestly knew nothing about the ETA. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know there was a group. I didn't know what they were about, what they believed in, why they did what they did. I didn't even necessarily know what they were doing. So watching the video was something completely new to me. The second part of the question was, do you consider ETA to be a terrorist organization or freedom fighters for the Basque peoples? And support your position with page numbers from the textbook. I personally do consider them to be a terrorist group, but on page 138, I believe. Let me double check, make sure I got that right. 1 second. Yeah. On page 138, it explains that they are classified as a terrorist group, but they're a different type of terrorist group. So in other words, ETA, their idea or what they believe in, what they do is based off political reasons, whereas, let's say, groups such as ISIS, the reason they do what they do is based off of religion or religious reasons. So ETA is not necessarily killing people just to kill them or to, basically killing for sport or for a religion. They're killing because they're trying to get a point across. But groups such as ISIS, they just kill because it's what we believe in and we're just going to cause all of this destruction. The third part of the question is, do you believe that the Basque region should be given the independence it once had and want to have returned? Explain your view. I don't really know if they should or shouldn't. Again, I don't know too much about it. I only know based off of what I saw in the video. So some facts about the video is that they began attacking, I think, around 1968. On June 7th, they killed a 25-year-old military policeman. And apparently in June 1987, there was a huge attack known to date as far as ETA. And it was a bombing in the parking lot of a Barcelona supermarket, which killed 21 shoppers. So I understand that they are fighting to get their independence back and to get back what they once had, but I don't believe that they're going about it the right way as far as the ETA is concerned. So I don't think them killing people and causing all of this chaos and suffering is going to get them what they want. Just because they're open to negotiation, things like that. If you're going around killing people and innocent people just because I want my independence, it's just going to make it a lot more difficult for them. And I mean, I don't know all that much about it, but I mean, if they were going around in our country killing, causing all of this craziness and murdering and unnecessary killing, then I mean, I don't feel like I would grant them independence. It's just completely wrong way to go about it. But yeah, like for an example, they also kidnap people, and an example of that in the video said that they kidnapped on June 12th, 1997, they kidnapped Miguel Angel Blanco. He was a conservative politician, and apparently, was it Spain? had 460 of their prisoners of ETA's people. They had 460 of them as prisoner, and the ETA, in retaliation, kidnapped Miguel, and they demanded that they released all of those prisoners in return for Miguel, but the demand was not met, so therefore they killed him. And this to me just seems like a very, like, this terrorist-like thing to do, so that's also tying back to the second part and the third part of the question. So, I mean, I don't know if I would grant them their independence, especially after everything that they've done and whatnot. Okay, so I also chose to do chapter 9. This video was talking about the group called Hezbollah. The first part of the question asked, Hezbollah, terrorist organization or freedom fighter? What is your view? Hezbollah, well, in the video it said that they were one of the most powerful groups in the region, and I think their main concern, or so the video was making it seem, or so they say, was they seek the destruction of Israel. But you'd have to question what exactly is their intention, because an example would be on October 23rd, 1983, a truck packed with explosives detonated outside some Marine barracks, some of our military, in Beirut. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it was said that it was one of the largest non-nuclear explosions since World War II. 240 lives, unfortunately, were lost, and that's one of the largest losses since Iwo Jima. So this group also partakes in kidnapping and torture and killing, because in 1985, a journalist, Terry Anderson, he was kidnapped. And another thing was Hezbollah was suspected in the torture and murder of U.S. Colonel William Higgins. Now, again, to me, a terrorist is somebody who wants to cause fear, somebody who wants to inflict pain and just cause terror in order to get what they want, or depending on what their views are. So Hezbollah claims that they're not our enemy, but you have to wonder, you've killed some of our people, you've tortured them, you've kidnapped them, and whatnot. So, and not just us, but also people in Israel. So if you're causing all of this, I don't really know if I would consider you a freedom fighter, although in the video it does explain that they do help as far as paying for medical care and school, and towards like the little past the middle of the video, there was a mother and a daughter, and they were talking about basically how much they appreciated Hezbollah because they have helped them. And throughout the video, at certain points, it would make it seem that Hezbollah does well, like, for their people. They help their people, which is why I guess you would consider them a freedom fighter. But, okay, yeah, it's cool that you help your people. That's great. But how are other people not supposed to view you as a terrorist organization when you're going around doing all these terrorist, like, acts around, like, especially on our military, on Israel, and all these different places? So you're good with your people, but then you're causing terror in other parts and to other groups. So I personally would consider them a terrorist organization. The second part of the question is Hezbollah is heavily armed. Should the U.S. be concerned? They claim not to attack Americans, yet they have killed U.S. soldiers and kidnapped Americans. What is your view on this claim by Hezbollah? Again, like I was mentioning in the first question, an example of weapons that they have are long-range rockets. Obviously, they're causing a lot of damage that they've shot in Israel and and a lot of like Israel ships and just different parts. So considering their history with U.S. military and Americans, and the fact that they have taken some, or kidnapped some, and tortured some, and even murdered some, I would be concerned, and I think the U.S. should be concerned and definitely keep a strong eye on them, because just because they claim that we're not their number one enemy, they have harmed our people. They have caused somewhat, like they have tried to take our people, kill them, hurt them in some way. So, you never know, but again, especially because they have all of this armory, and their primary, Iran is their primary source of arms. So they're getting a lot of heavy armed weapons. So it's really important to make sure we don't turn a blind eye to them, because at any point in time they could come and you never know what they can do. It could be the next terrorist attack and whatnot, just because they say, oh, we are not a terrorist group, we refuse to be called as such or referred to as such. Their words mean one thing, but their actions are saying something else. So that's my video, and I hope you guys